guys, and welcome back to the Returnees. I am Bookie O, and I'm here with Ife S. Do you want a pillow to sit on? Because you look a bit low.
No, bye. She can't disrespect me on
Just sit on the pillow. Just sit, it'll be so much better. See, look a bit higher. Isn't that better?
Hi guys, my name is Ife Sarami. Also go by Lady Ifs on social media. So I work in public relations here in Nigeria. I moved back for the essence of completing my National Youth Service Corps, that's NYC, because I have the future ambition to run for political office in Nigeria. So I thought, let me just finish my NYC now and get it out of the way, so that I don't have to be, in the situation where my people are saying, you haven't done your NYC, so you can't get to the office.
Yeah, no, that stuff comes back to haunt you.
It does, especially here in Nigeria. So yeah. I thought, let me do it now when I don't have any obligations in the UK. So yeah, so I currently do public relations, and I'm hoping to go into government affairs very soon here in Nigeria.
Would you advise someone to do the NYC and why?
Yes, especially if you want to go into public office or you want to work in a corporation here in Nigeria. You definitely have to do your NYC. The big banks, the big law firms will ask you to do will ask for your NYC certificate, so you have to do it. And even if you just want to experience Nigeria from the expat point of view, so someone that doesn't live here, NYC is a great way to actually submerge yourself into the culture and the structure of Nigeria.
So our topic today is going to be on the professional world, corporate Nigeria, as one will put it. And we're just going to talk about working in a corporate environment in Nigeria, getting a job in that, and how it is and how that varies to, I guess, abroad, right? Working abroad. Yes. What's your experience in working in the corporate Nigeria? Why did you even want to work in corporate Nigeria? Why was there why did you come to the country and get a job in corporate? You could have got a job. You could have been an entrepreneur. You could have started something yourself. Yeah, why corporate?
Corporate because I wanted to start in the private sector in PR, because I felt as though I would get more varied and more structured experience of public relations, as opposed to the public sector, which here in Nigeria I don't personally think it's defined yet. There isn't structure kind of thing, so I thought, let me just start with private sector
structure.
Yeah, there's no
what is that? What does that mean?
Okay, so back in the UK, you'd have maybe a graduate scheme.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
right? So that would,
and then there's mid-level, senior level.
But here it's not defined. So I thought, let me start with the private sector, which was more defined. There were roles, there was accountability, there was structure essentially. So I thought, let me start off there, gain some experience and knowledge, then transfer what I've learnt in the private sector to the public sector. So yeah, I think I'll be in the private sector for a while before I transfer to the public sector, which is working in the government basically.
Yeah, so very quickly, tell us how you got your job, because I know we spoke about this on live. So guys, if you follow us on Instagram, the Returnees, you would have watched me Ife's live where she spoke about getting a job and how her entry into this job was very different to many. So I know a lot of people ask, how do you get a job in Nigeria? What do I need to do, etc. So tell us very briefly how you got your job.
Sure. So it was a mixture of luck, opportunity, and hard work. I was actually working back in the UK when I saw the flyer on Twitter, and it was calling for graduates to come to their open day, for the company's open day back in London. So I thought, well, I'm not doing anything tomorrow, let me go. So I went there and I had a brief interview, and from there they were like, okay, yeah, we'll get back to you. So I thought, okay, no, I flopped that interview was mad. There was a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. So the good cop was talking to me, the bad cop was just looking at me well, it's because you are speaking with accent, I think we should just do the job. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. No, they don't like me. That's it. No, let me just take my mind off it. I'll go to Nigeria next year. No. Literally 3 months after they called me, they emailed me saying, oh, I would like to offer you the role. I was like, oh wow, okay, so I'm actually going to Nigeria. I don't have a choice now, I actually have to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was literally from me going on social media researching and then going there and showing them what I've done so far.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it like a what do you call those? Like a fair?
Recruitment fair, yeah.
Recruitment fair,
but like,
yeah.
For
Nigeria.
For Nigeria. So it was
yeah.
for international students and home students in the UK that wanted to move back to Nigeria to do the NYSC, but needed a job to give them a platform to do the NYSC. So whilst you do NYSC, you actually have to be working as well.
Yeah.
So so that was my job during NYSC.
So now you're working in the corporate environment in Nigeria. Yeah. How does it vary? What's different from, obviously you've worked in corporate in the UK as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've come from that corporate environment. You know that there's a certain structure in the UK, a certain way they work, there's an expectation in a sense. So you've come in, what was your expectation before and what did you get? Tell me, and I'll tell you mine as well.
My expectation was, I don't know why, but I think this was, in hindsight, it's actually quite naive, but I thought it would be the same as the UK because I thought corporate culture is the same everywhere in the world, but it's not.
At all.
No, it's not.
Nope.
I was really aghast. I was shocked.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted. Like the first day I was like, rotted. You man move different here, boy.
Yeah.
You man, okay, this is nice. Let's go with the flow. But one thing I would say about myself is that I had an open mind about everything. So I was like, hey, if this is going to happen, just have an open mind, just learn. Last, I'll just go if it's too much.
Yeah.
But so what I was used to in the UK was like, even from things like HR, there was structure, there was
things were set in place.
Things were set in place, and
yeah,
you just
as if they had a blueprint. That's more like it. I think that's the word, blueprint. Anyways, from my experience, just to cut in there, like I've worked in several corporate environments. I got quite a few opportunities to experience stuff, and even at that, I realized that most companies always have a blueprint. They have a structure and they have like it's set in place. This is how we run. This is how we go through things. Yeah, no, not just that, but you go through the process. There's a process that you go through. So going back to your expectation, you had an expectation that it will just be similar, right?
Yeah, like on the first day, you have your onboarding, you have you'll meet your line manager, you'll find out your role, you do a mini informal get together after.
Yeah, they'll introduce you to
the team who you're working with.
They'll show you around the building.
And actually, to be fair, the company I worked for when I first came, they actually did that. I think, obviously, everyone can improve, but I think I was just more shocked with the culture of that particular office. So I was used to people, and not to say this is wrong, it's just a difference in culture. So over there, it was more like over in the UK, it was more conservative. So people were like, just mind your business, do your work. At lunch, then you'll mingle with your colleagues. Friday night, you go to the pub. That's what we do. But here it was like every day is a party. You just
seriously
it was just just loud, it's bubbly, it's
vibes.
It's vibes. And some they're like can we be serious? But they're just bantering, they're working, but it's just a bit
loud.
Laissez-faire. It's just a bit just very on control, very on box. That there was no box. Everyone's just free to do their own thing as long as you're not doing something illegal, but everyone's just like themselves, like no one's pretending. And that's one thing I actually like about working here. Like there's not too much pretense. You can actually be yourself. So I can be, you see how I am now, I can be like that in the office, as long as I'm just doing my work. But in the UK I can't be, I had to be like, I had to conform to this, corporate life.
It's very robotic in the UK.
And rigid.
And like
unless you're in the creative sector.
So the thing is, in the UK, there's somewhat of a system. There's a system that you can only fit in. Whereas when you come to Nigeria, there's not necessarily a system. But I'm basing it off my experience. And when I came in, I guess I had an expectation as well. I just thought it would be, because
what you were used to.
What I was used to. I didn't get onboarded. I didn't get that. I didn't get show around.
But
But
they expect you to do.
But they had an expectation of me.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
No, exactly.
The irony.
Yeah. No. So what's actually funny is that there's a very high expectation because you have an accent
and because you're abroad. I'm just like you.
Yeah, I'm very much like you.
I'm just like
so I have the same expectations as you, and I need to be communicated with what my role is. I need a description. I need an understanding. For me to work effectively, something needs to be handed to me. When nothing's handed, how are you supposed to work?
How are you going to be efficient?
How are you going to be efficient?
Then I'll not be blaming you.
Yeah.
For lack of productivity.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me what I'm doing. So whose blame is it?
So I want to talk about how you deal with when your expectations are not met.
So how did I deal with it? I was just so thankfully from my professional experience back in the UK, I dealt with disappointment anyway. So that helped me to understand how to navigate the space in Nigeria. So for me, I just went straight to HR, and thankfully at the place I was working at, human resources were very they did listen to what I was trying to say, even if they didn't implement the change immediately. They still listened, and eventually I realized that they actually took what I said into consideration. So I went to someone that I could actually trust in the HR and told them, look, this is what I was expecting. This is the reality. I wanted to be in this department, for example.
Yeah.
And you put me here, and it's like I'm trying to do something that I'm not qualified for. I don't have the skills to do this thing, but because I'm in a position in the office whereby I don't really have a lot of say, autonomy, I just have to keep quiet, just do what I want to do. But eventually, you guys have to put me where I would actually add value. So after a few months of fighting back and forth, they finally put me where I wanted to be. But for me, so talking to someone that actually trusted at work helped me. Yeah. So I would say if you do decide to come and work here, trying to find a support network even within your job could actually help you with settling down and navigating the problematic areas at work.
Definitely. And I would say, as a returnee, speak up. Don't hold it all in. Because I know a lot of people I know a lot of people come and they have an expectation, those expectations aren't met, and they hold it in. You holding it in as a returnee, you'll be frustrated as hell.
And then you lash at the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll end up not producing as you should. So do talk about it, do let people know, and then speak to your friends. They'll give you ways and solutions of how to deal with it and better deal with things. What's work life like in Nigeria?
There is no work-life balance
at all. There's no timing, there's nothing, you're working not 9 to 5 because that doesn't exist. You're working all through the night, all through the day. There's no timing. Your boss can call you up at 5 a.m., can call you up at 10 p.m. and you need to be ready. So do be expectant that will happen. I mean,
I was going to say, but it also depends on the industry you're in as well. So maybe in some industries you actually do get a cut-off point. So maybe teachers now, they start at 9, they finish at 5, and that's it till the next day. But if
we're talking about corporate world,
there's no, you have to find your own balance. You have to enforce you literally have to cut off. No, you can't call me at 8 p.m.
No, you switch off your phone. That's the best thing you can do.
Mode,
no, honestly,
otherwise they'll keep on thinking, oh, she's free. And because especially when you're single, if you're unmarried, they just think that they can own your life. So they'll take over your life. Even your person, on the weekends, they'll be expecting you to be there.
Honestly, it's so real.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, and I feel that's the difference between the UK, because once it's 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, 5:30, whatever,
you're
off. You're down at the pub, or you're just at home. You can sleep, or do you know what I mean? And your weekends are yours.
In the UK, even if you have to work extra hours, at least they'll
pay you overtime.
And they don't expect you to actually do it. You can actually cancel. You can, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And even if you do it, if you do more than you're asked for, they actually acknowledge that. They don't do that here.
If you say no, it's kind of
disrespect. Not working enough. It's eye service. Everyone just overdoes it here. It's eye service. So eye service basically means you're trying to impress your boss by doing things, going the extra mile because you want to impress, not because you actually genuinely want to do that for the company. It's because you just want to impress. So you find yourself sitting at work at 8 p.m. doing work when really, if you work smart, you can actually leave the office by 5. Come back on Monday and everything's still done. But some people want to overdo it. They will be there till 8:30 just to show that I work so hard. I'm a motivated employee. You could have done that work during your life. You could have managed your time better for you to leave work on time, but you wanted to impress. Do
you know what I want to add to that is that the effects that this actually has on people's mental health.
Mental health.
I don't think they actually realize or notice that people are actually stretched so
Stressed
far
out,
that they're stressed. So I know a lot of returnees that they come
smoking.
here and they work like so hard that they don't have a social life, they don't have their own life, and they become very depressed, and they get driven out of they get driven out of the country.
Literally.
And my thing is, we've come here with an expectation of, I want to be in Nigeria because I love the country, I want to help the country, I want to add to the country, stuff like that. But because of the way things are, it kind of drives you to a place where you're just like, I hate this, I hate my life, I hate everything. So I guess my advice is that find your balance. Don't be afraid to speak up. Tell it as it is.
That's it. Because the way the country is set up, job
You
security
it's hard,
is not that secure.
It's not,
so if you want to do, stand for my rights, then they fire you. Where's the next job going to come? Because it's only competitive.
The way you voice it also matters. Don't say it as, no, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, you lot are killing me, it's unfair, what is this? No. A suggestion, can we do it this way? Or this way works better because I will work better. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's better for everyone. You need to give a point and actually like
mutually beneficial.
Exactly. What advice would you give someone who wanted to move to Nigeria and come into the corporate world?
I would say having an open mind is really, really, really important. That will help you to not be so. It will help you to dispel the preconceived notions you have in your mind, so that you don't feel like you're above all this. So it helps you like just level your mindset, so you're more likely to actually learn from the people that you're around, as opposed to like feeling like you're better than them. I think that's really, really, really important. So like have an open mind, because the way things work here, despite your grudges against it, it works for them.
100%.
And it's been working for them for the past how many years, and it will work for them after you've gone from that company. So have an open mind, and secondly, I would say trying to adapt to the situation. So maybe HR isn't the way you thought it would be, but whatever the process they have there, whatever the process that they have there already existing, you can try to find how you can just acclimatize to that. So find a way to adapt and have an open mind.
I totally
have fun, man. Just have fun. Have fun at work.
Just to add to that, bring your A game. Don't allow the system or the way things work to change who you are. And so thank you guys for watching. Follow Ife. What's your handle?
Instagram is @ladyifs.
And Bookio, Follow the returnees. Thank you guys.
Follow my NGO at My Voice My Future.
Oh yeah,
we teach kids this education in Nigeria.
Thank you. Bye guys.
Bye.